Okay, Torah concept in the New Testament, let not the believer put away the unsaved spouse who wishes to remain. Okay, so Paul's instruction in 1 Corinthians 7:12-13 is a profound call to covenantal faithfulness. Even in spiritually mixed marriages, while the Torah doesn't directly address the believer-unbeliever dynamic that Paul does, it does offer several parallels in principle and precedent that support the ethic of honoring the marital bond when the unbelieving spouse desires peace. Now, in Genesis 16 and chapter 21, we read about Abraham and Hagar, right? You remember that? And though Hagar was not part of the covenantal line, Abraham did not cast her out until God explicitly instructed him to do in Genesis 21, verse 12. And even then, it was done with provision and care. So this shows that covenant identity did not automatically justify separation. God's guidance and the other party's disposition mattered. And in Genesis 34, we read about Dinah and Shechem. You remember that? Now, Shechem, a non-Israelite, desires to marry Dinah and live peaceably with Jacob's family. While the story ends tragically due to deception, the initial proposal shows that peaceful coexistence with non-believers was not inherently forbidden. And in Exodus 12, verse 38, a mixed multitude went up with them, it says. And so at the Exodus, many non-Israelites joined Israel when they were not cast out. And when they left Egypt, they were not cast out, but welcomed into the covenant community, provided they respect its boundaries. And this reflects Paul's ethic. If the unbeliever desires to dwell in peace, do not separate. What Paul is saying. And in Deuteronomy 21, we read about marriage to the captive woman. That's the woman that's captured during a war. And in Israelite men, a man could marry a foreign woman taken in war, but he had to treat her with dignity. The Torah commands that, and if he later chooses to release her, he cannot sell or mistreat her. The law emphasizes respect and restraint, even in spirituality or culturally mixed unions. Paul's he's steeped in Torah, right? And he does not contradict these Torah concepts. He extends its principles to the realities of early Messianic communities where believers often find themselves married to unbelievers. We note, again, this is how Paul in the New Testament taught Torah. The Torah has not passed away.